I didn't even realize I had a bucket list. It's always someday, one day, maybe. It's my plan B. If life goes defunct, I'm out of here, baby. This girl is gone. I don't really know why everything in life has to be so much more complicated, being that we have computers to make things easier. Hey guys, it is July 4th today. I thought we would do something different and kick off the week today. So usually I start my vlogs on a Monday and end them on a Friday. Let's enjoy the week. It is going to be truly a crazy little week. We are going to a 4th of July celebration. I'm getting my camera perfected here, and we'll get to see a sunset unless it storms. If not, we'll get to watch a storm on the lake, and we'll get to eat some good food, have a glass of wine. So let's just enjoy it. The week is not going to be without its little stressor events, and we'll get to those a little later on in the week. But I thought while we were kind of going through a week with me, why don't we talk about a certain subject? And I decided that subject this week would be what's on my bucket list, because I want to hear what's on your bucket list. I'm in my 60s now, but the older I get, the more that I think about, it's time to either release these things or do something about it. I still don't have the answer yet. It's a little complicated. And so I'm curious to know what your bucket list items are. I think a lot of mine are basically revolving around travel. Not all of them, but there's been so many things I've done in my life, and it's the travel piece that I'm missing and that I would really like to get in there somehow. So I thought I would just kind of go over with you guys what I'm thinking as we go through the week with all the stuff that we got going on this week. Let's talk a little bit each day about our bucket list. I'm willing to share mine with you if you'll share yours with me. But right now, we got to get on the road, go to this July 4th party and celebrate Happy Birthday, America. All right, let's go celebrate, see some fireworks, eat some good food.
I'm sorry, Peppers. I'll be gone in just a second. Bye, baby.
It has been kind of a busy little morning. I kind of reserve Mondays for my day to really dive into all the phone calls that we need to make, just trying to solve all the problems, so that is done at the first part of the week and over with after coming off of the weekend. Mondays are always really busy. I need to remember not to make so many Monday plans because we're always gone on Sunday. Things always accumulate across the weekend. Mondays are always busy, and then I'm rushing out the door for any afternoon appointments. So I did get a lot done. This morning I had to call Cigna because my dental card is not showing up on the website. I don't know. It did last week, early in the week, but then it disappeared again. So it's making me worry about my coverage. I'm staying on top of things, folks, because when you don't stay on top of things or you notice something, you got to take care of it, because usually it means something is wrong. Where there's smoke, there's fire, I have very little trust in anybody else handling my stuff. I just want it to be right, and I want it to be effective and all that. My name was spelled wrong, and so I had to fix that, and that's when it went where I couldn't pull it up anymore. There's also the complication of that my old Cobra insurance was through the same company, so in their system I'm showing covered on 2 plans, but I know the other one is going to end. But I'm afraid that there's going to be confusion in the plans, you know what I mean? Things should be much more simple. I don't really know why everything in life has to be so much more complicated. Being that we have computers to make things easier, I am at my doctor's office this morning because I had to drop off the request for 5 years worth of medical data and a letter stating that I do not have heart disease, which I have not been diagnosed with heart disease. I had to take care of that, and now I am on my way to go get Mom, and we're going to go to lunch and get our nails done. Tomorrow is busy almost from the time we get up to the time we go to bed. Same thing on Wednesday. Mom has an appointment in Nashville. Thursday, I am holding near and dear to my heart. Nobody better schedule anything for me that day. That's my day. It's my only day at home this week. Friday, George and I have an excursion, something that we have been trying to work into our schedule since the first of the year. And we just haven't been able to do it yet, so we're just gonna stop and do that this Friday. I'll take you along for all the stuff we're going through this week, but yeah, I got to get through traffic and get Mom. I'm always running a little bit late, so let's go get our nails done. She has to get her polish taken off because she's having surgery next week, and then I'm just gonna do my own toes at home and save a little bit of money. But I got to get the nails done. I got a cracked situation going on there. All right, let's go. Let's go eat. Well, I made it early to Mom's. I've got a few minutes. I thought we would talk about the bucket list thing that I promised this week. There's some recurrent ones that have been in my mind for several years. The first one you probably already know is that I would love to RV, and I would like to be gone for a period of time to be determined. I would like to just go on a trip around the U.S. and back again and all around. I don't know. I just think that would be fun to go from place to place and just kind of taking it as you go, just living that lifestyle for a little while. I'm extremely afraid of storms, so the fact that I don't go gives me some resolve because I would be very afraid of the weather. I also don't drive in snow. I don't really know if that will ever happen. If it doesn't, I would at least like to take one trip in an RV to somewhere and just have the experience. Van life is appealing sometimes. Honestly, I'd kind of rather have a bigger RV and have comfortable times inside, like reading, cooking. I don't know. There's just so much to all that. And George is not interested in it. And so he's like, well, instead, let's just travel and go the hotel route. But in reality, we're not doing either. I mean, we go to Texas, we may go see friends, and that's kind of been it. So traveling more is on my bucket list. Again, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. These are things that if I could do it, I would. If money were no issue, I would. If, there's other things besides money that's an issue there, with the RV. It's like, number one, it's hard to leave mom right now. Number two, George is just not into that. Number three, the money is there if we would want to do it, but then how much are you going to need later in life? And so you try to be conservative, and I think that's where we are right now with our spending. But that's probably the big bucket list for me. That's just recurring in my thoughts, and when I'm having a hard time here, one thing that consoles me is that, I could buy an RV, rent an RV, rent a van, I don't know, whatever, and just take off into the sunset. I could do that. There is some resolve. However, I am a fairly disciplined person most of the time, and so I've chosen not to do that. But the thought is there. It's my plan B. If life goes defunct, I'm out of here, baby. This girl is gone. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So the other thing that has been recurrent through the years is that I think it would be really cool to have a family Christmas in Florida at the condo on the beach. Beach view, gotta have a beach view. I know it's likely to be cold because we'd probably go to Destin or somewhere on the Gulf where the water is so pretty and turquoise, somewhere on the Emerald Isle. It's just appealing to me. Like, I think about that a lot. It's like, well, how would you handle the gifts and the preparation? And my thoughts on that is it's the one time we draw names and you spend $100 on that person maybe, and you shop while you're down there. And, so you get down there a week before Christmas and you have time to shop. You get a small tree from Walmart that somebody can take home and keep if they wanted to, but just tabletop thing, Everybody buy 2 ornaments a piece that you put on the tree, and you spend time shopping for your secret person for a gift, and then you have a delightful breakfast and Christmas opening and coffee on the porch, and see what kind of gifts you got from your vacation town, and that be it. I just think that would be so cool. Instead of spending all the money on Christmas, let's just spend it on our one person and our 2 ornaments and our condo and split the cost. I just think that would be so cool. All right, I'm gonna go get mom. It's 12 noon straight up. That is probably my top 2 bucket lists, and we'll talk about more tomorrow. I got a whole bunch of them. Like that one. It's the same one I asked for last time, but I got pink. So hopefully I'll get the right color this time. Alright, well, it is Tuesday now, and today's a busy one. Aren't they all? But today, the plan is I will go to mom's assessment. After you've been in assisted living for 30 days, at this particular assisted living place. They do a reassessment. It's another quick chance to up the care, and take you to the next level if the person is requiring more care than you initially said. And yeah, it's possible that in 30 days time people can change, but it kind of made me laugh knowing that the assessment was so quick, because I could see how that could probably happen, that people are like, oh yeah, she just needs one level of care and then she really needs 3 or something like that. I truly believe that we are still on 1. We'll see how it goes. She doesn't need care getting a bath and, getting up out of bed or getting dressed or any of those things. It's really just medication. They come get her trash. They remind her it's time to eat. I don't know, just things like that. It is so nice to have her meals provided, and she has that little button that she can call. And she's got her own little private nurse, that brings her medications every day. So we're just going to go do this one really quick. And after that, they fall quarterly, unless there's, a change, like for example, when she has this upcoming heart procedure, if there is going to be a change in the level of her care. If it's very temporary and only for a few days, that's no big deal. But if it's, a week, 2 weeks, they will temporarily bump things up and then take it back down. But I am going to get groceries after that. It's just a few things, maybe 3 or 4 things are on my list. I need to have salad in the house for Thursday, because I am going to be here on Thursday. We're going to be gone all day tomorrow with 0 chances of going to the store. It's a trip to Nashville. I know I'm not going to be wanting to go to the store tomorrow. So I'm going to do that today. And then we are going to dinner and a concert tonight in Nashville. I'm very excited to be able to do something different, but if I'm being honest, it suits me just fine to kick back in the recliner, play on my iPad, and watch a show. But we'll get to do something different, and the concert is free, and the dinner is not, but we're going to have a really good time. I told you this week I'm sharing my bucket list with you guys as far as things that I would like to do the rest of my life. Most of it, when I sat down to pen and pencil, most of it was travel related, and I talked to you guys about that a little bit yesterday. So let me just kind of scoot through all the travel stuff today. I would like to take a cruise. I would really like to do an Alaskan cruise. I do not really care to do a Caribbean cruise. I mean, there was a time when I really wanted to go see the Bahamas and, do all that. I think the time has passed. I don't really want to go to party zones. I don't want to be on a party cruise. I just want quietness. I just want peace. I do want to experience a cruise, and I hope I get to do that. I would like to see redwood trees. That's kind of been on my bucket list. And of course, there's all the obvious geographical points that most of us want to see, like Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon. I don't really care to spend like a lot of time in those places. I do have some interest in them. I do not really care for big touristy places anymore, but there are some hot spots like that I would really like to see if given the opportunity. I've always had it in the back of my mind that I would like to go to Italy and Greece. I don't really know if that will happen or not, but it'd be kind of cool if it did. I would like to travel overnight by train. I've heard it's not the most comfortable situation in the world, but I do like trains, and I like being on the trains, and I particularly like scenic trains. And I've already been on a lot of those. So I think it would be cool to have an overnight experience, one that has pretty views, as comfortable of a overnight as possible, and to eat in a dining car, while you're looking out the window and having your morning coffee or whatever. I don't know. It just sounds like a fun thing to do. I've seen it on TV. I've seen it on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, I really would like to do that. So I put that on my list. And I talked to you guys about some things yesterday, things like Christmas at the beach. I'm not sure if I mentioned sailing or not. I would like to sail somewhere. It doesn't have to be overnight. I just want to go. It can be for an hour or two. I just want to sail. I just want to be on a boat that's sailing, and I hope I wouldn't get sick. Seeing a whale, I'm sure that would probably come on the Alaskan trip. Maybe a Maine trip, although I think it's less common there. But I would like to go to Canada and spend some time there. I actually have been to Canada. I was on a fishing boat. Well, it wasn't a fishing boat. It was a smaller boat with some other people, and we were in Minnesota, and we were in the backwaters between Minnesota and Canada, and we needed gas, and so we actually went to a lodge that served hamburgers and beer, and we had a hamburger and a beer, got our gas. On the Canadian side, wasn't any big deal at all. I think that was before you had to have a passport. We did not have fishing license, and we had fishing gear in our boat, so that wouldn't have been pretty. But I just realized that within the last year, I've actually been to Canada, and I forgot about that. How do you forget these things? I don't know. But I would like to go to Canada and spend some time there. See, that's the thing about being in your 60s. I covered a lot on the video yesterday. I didn't go back and watch it. I don't even remember what all I talked about yesterday. So if these are repeat, just forgive me and go on. It's just, I can't remember once I sleep what I talked about. I would like to have like a month-long stay in a condo at the beach. I've always envied those people that would just go for a month. And then, then they would go back home. But they would just like make their home there for a month. Honestly, during the winter, it's just about as cheap as doing that for a week. And, in the summer. So, I don't know. I've just kind of always thought, one day when I'm retired, I'm going to do that. I made some notes here. I would like to experience Sonoma, the wine country. Just one or two places. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money there, and I don't want to, that's just it. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money there, but I would like to experience it once, you know what I mean? All right, so I think that's pretty much all of my travel stuff. I know I talked about RVing some yesterday. That would probably be my first desire to quench. But those are just some of the things that were on my mind. When you get older and you start thinking about your future, and it's like, what are the things that I really want to do before I die? Those are all the things. And most of it has to do with travel. And the rest of the week, we'll talk about things that are not travel related. I need to get myself together and get out the door and see Mom. I did want to say, it is so difficult to try and do things for your aging parents when you don't have their phone or their email. I don't really want to have access to her phone or email. It's like I don't want to be all in her stuff, but yet you are having to be all in their stuff. And all I need to do is change her mail and have it forwarded here. And I thought, that'll be easy. So I thought, well, I'll probably just need to create an account for her at that other address. And I'll just use my email and phone number. And I had the good mind to think about, well, I'll just use a different email. But I had to use my phone number because, it's required. You have to use a phone. Well, my phone number is already in use, so it wouldn't let me set it up to change her address. So I guess at this point, I'm so tired of changing things and fighting with systems and trying to get past security to get her things done, I'm just giving it up. It's like, the house will be sold soon and we'll stop all these services that are left. I've been trying to get all the addresses changed on the things that matter. The day of closing or the day after, we'll just go and close all that stuff. And I guess we'll have the records to be able to do that. I have no idea. That may be a problem too. I think everything is going to be easy, and then it's a hair-raising event. It's really hard to take care of your parents when you don't have access to their stuff. I have POA, but that doesn't do me any good when I go in online and try to fix things, because it doesn't say if you have a POA, upload it here. It just won't let you do it. Period. I couldn't even get the account created. But I was in a good mood this morning. And then just dealing with all that stuff, it just makes me pissy. I'm sorry. It just does. All right. I'm going to take my pissy little self off to take care of Mom's assessment. And then we will come back and force ourselves to have a little bit of fun this afternoon. I'll try to get in a better mood. I promise. Maybe. All right. Well, it is 4:10 now here on Tuesday afternoon, and we are going to a Sierra Hull concert. Very excited about that. Before that, we're going to go to Tenfold Brewing, and they have excellent pizza and other food, so we're going to get that. We're going to get something from there. We haven't been there in a long time, but it's on the way into Nashville, kind of in the Donelson area. So we're going to do that. I have been working on a video here. Almost through with that, which is a good thing, because tomorrow we'll be gone taking Mom to her doctor's appointment. But let me tell you, Thursday, I am looking forward to not having anything. All right, let's go and enjoy this afternoon. Oh my goodness, where does the time go? The time just goes by so fast. Like this afternoon, I had a little bit of time at home and I got a lot done, but it's already time to leave again, but at least it's fun stuff. So let's go enjoy the evening. Flood going on here, and waiting on a train. Waiting on a train. There's a vendor. Purity Terry. We were trying to outsmart the train, so we went a different way. And just as we got here, the train caught up with us. So here we are. Here we are. It is Wednesday, midweek here, and today is the day that we take Mom for her pre-op appointment. Got George in the background over here somewhere playing the mandolin.
Here you go, there's your intro.
So the Sierra Hall concert was really good. I knew that she could sing, and I knew that she sounded like Alison Krauss. I didn't know how well she played the mandolin, though. And guess who the guest was on her show? Alison Krauss, which we were thrilled to death. It was a surprise. We didn't know.
The whole crowd went electric when she came out.
Yeah, it was electric. There was another lady that played the mandolin that was very talented. Her name was Lauren Price. So we got back late last night. I think we went to bed after 11. And we're up early, 5:30 this morning. It's now 8:23. We got to go pick up Mom and head to Nashville for her 10:30 appointment. And then we'll grab lunch after. Tomorrow is my day. I will fight anybody over that day. Don't plan anything for me tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to having a day in my week where I don't have to rush out the door to do anything. I also have Saturday. Raining, but you can't tell because of the atrium roof. We're waiting on the car. Valet. I think that was great.
careful. Plate may be hot.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty hot. You got your baby. You got your baby. Little baby squirrel. Take care of your baby. Take care of your baby. Hey guys, it is Friday now. I took yesterday off. It was just for me, and I did not vlog anything. George and I were supposed to go on an excursion today, but it's just been really raining a lot. Like, we have flood watches and warnings in some places, and I just decided, our week has been busy enough, and let's just not go, because George raised the question yesterday, do we want to do this tomorrow? He said, you make the call. So I took it as an invitation to, it's okay to stay home today. So that's what we're doing, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. And I was so glad that yesterday when we talked about it, we made the decision to stay home, because it was raining cats and dogs. It was really hard to get the dogs out to pee this morning. So I did want to pop in here today to finish talking about my bucket list items. I've spent a lot of time talking about travel and places I want to go and maybe some experiences, but I don't think I've really spent much time talking about other things besides travels. I made some notes here on my phone. One of the things that I would really like to do is to make sourdough bread. I've never made it, and I want to make it. I also want to make bread with other types of flour and do some experimenting. I want to learn to make healthy brownies, healthy cookies. I just want to be able to do that. I want to be able to experiment. And I've made brownies and breads, and I've made it before, but I just want to do some different things with baking. And so I'm going to do that once we get Mom through this TAVR procedure, and I hope that everything will calm down after that. Another bucket list thing is that I would really like to have a smaller house or condo that is cute, modern. It doesn't have to be modern as long as it is remodeled or finished appropriately. I don't want to move into anything when we downsize that we have to do a lot of work with, because the work won't get done. And then, some of it will, a lot of it won't. And then I'll be stuck with old countertops like I have here, old bathrooms. We had a lot of things that were updated here. We'll paint, take down wallpaper, but anything that requires new things, like a remodel, it just sits there and rots, and we don't do it. And so I will never trust that if we buy something and it has work, I will never trust that it will be done. So I want to have just a fresh, new, clean, I want modern bathrooms. And I want a house with a modern bathroom and kitchen. I get tired of having to live with old bathrooms and kitchens. So there you have it. That is actually on my bucket list, is to have to move into like a fresh new place. I mean, a new place. I actually put weight loss on my bucket list. I mean, you might as well, while you're wishing for things, just throw that in there. So I would like to write a book, maybe publish it, but I don't know if that is in the cards, because at this point in my life, like, I'm willing to put in some work, but I'm not willing to put in a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's got to be a fun thing. I don't really know. But I mean, I've always wanted to write a book, and it's always been on my bucket list, and I think it would be fun to do. And if it did go somewhere, that would be great. I would really like to reach 100,000 subs on YouTube. I'm just going to throw that out as a goal. I don't know if it'll ever be reached or not. I don't know if I have enough years in my life to wait for that to happen. And being retired, and my life is, I don't live in New York. I don't have blonde hair. I'm not beautiful, and I don't have any reason really for people to watch me other than, if you're interested in the things I'm talking about. So I don't know if I'll hit 100,000. I don't know if this channel will ever have what it takes for 100,000, but we'll see. Oh, I really would like to read all the books on my shelf before I die. At least all my Danielle Steeles, because I kept buying them thinking, I'm buying another Danielle Steele. It's going to sit on the shelf. I just need to have them read before I die. She's got some other ones out there I haven't read, but I'm scared to buy anymore. And, it'd be nice to kind of read all of the books, but I will never read all the books on the shelf because as they get low, I always buy more. Basically, looking back through here, I think that is pretty much all of my bucket list. Let me just say this in closing. Most of my wishes and desires for the rest of my life are pretty simple or easy. And some of them are a little more complicated and expensive. So it's just kind of the range. I think we just want the best for ourselves. And then we do want to just try to do some of those things that we've always dreamed of doing before we die. So I hope that I get to do some travel. I hope that I get the new place with the nice kitchen and the bathrooms. Enjoy decorating that. I hope that I get to spend time in that kitchen cooking and doing some things that I would really like to do, experimenting with the different breads and different foods and, all of that. Because right now I feel too pressured to be in the kitchen a lot and still be creative and do my YouTube channel. And I hope you enjoyed this week. I tried to think of something that would just kind of take us away and think about the future and kind of get us away from Mom and all the stuff going on, with her. Her doctor's appointment went well this week, and her TAVR procedure is next week, where they insert the heart valve into her current heart valve. I will definitely take you guys with me through the week next week. Maybe I can think of a theme of something that we can talk about next week in addition to Mom's TAVR, just to kind of get our minds away from things that are stressful and all of that. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm just going to ramble on if I just sit here. So we'll go ahead and close the vlog, and I appreciate you being here. So give me a like if you liked the video. Don't forget to leave me a comment. I enjoy your comments so much. It's so much fun on Saturday and Sunday, especially when you guys are here and we can talk about different things in the video. And I am so looking forward to hearing your bucket list items. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye now. No wonder when you get to be in your 60s, everybody gets pissy. All right, I'll probably cut that out, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we'll put it at the end.